Hello. In this video, I will show you how to create a door chime that is activated in the first scene and persists into the next scene. And it will also only be certain doors, in this case the front door, both inside and outside the 7-Eleven here, that will activate the chime. I'll show you two ways to do this, and you can choose which one you want to use. One will be a little easier than the other. This video does build off of what I had done in my last video on custom resources, but you don't have to watch that one first, or if it's been a while since you've seen that one, don't worry about it. I'll link that video in the description. You can watch it later, and I will reference the important parts of that one so you're not completely out of context with this video. All relevant links will be in the description, including the scripts, which I have in my GitHub repo. I'll put this in the same repo as I did last time, and I'll just make some branches, which I'll identify in this video while I go through them. The links here will go directly to those branches. But if you go to my repo from the other video, it will take you to the main branch. Also, this video will be in chapters, so if you want to skip around, you can do that. But I'll start with a quick summary or a quick review of how I had the last one set up. If we look at the screen here, we see we have our 7-Eleven here, and I have got these area 2Ds, and these are triggers both inside and outside of our 7-Eleven here, that will take in some information. Let me show the script here. We have an export file of type text scene that will be loaded into our scene manager. We also have information about the position we want the player to be in the next scene, as well as the direction we want them to face. This information here will be passed into a custom resource, which will store that information and pass it back into the player script when the new scene loads. So we're just going to add to the script, checking for what type of door we're walking through. So if we see here, we have our on body entered. We're going to check if that body is player. And if it is, again, pass all the information that I mentioned above. I talked more about this in the other video, so I'm not going to go into great detail here. But I'm adding this part here, which is checking if the 7-Eleven door is the front door. So we're checking if it's in this group. If is in group 7-Eleven front door, then we're going to play this sound effect, which is a door chime. After that, we're going to load the scene. So of course, if we load a scene, all of this will be destroyed. So if this door chime only existed in this scene, it wouldn't have a chance to play before the scene was loaded. And we kind of want the bell to start playing when we walk through the door here, and then we want it to keep playing as we walk through into the next scene. Let's take a look at our enter-exit scene here. We're going to create a group for it. And you see here we have this group 7-Eleven front door. The way we create a group is when we're looking at our scene, we have the inspector, we click on node, on groups. It'll be in signals first probably, but you click on groups, and then you can click this plus. Think of a name of your group, and then decide here if you want it global or not. In our case, we are making it. Did we make it global? I can't remember. I actually don't know if it's global or not. But that's how we do that. So in our main enter-exit here, we don't want this to be marked. But in our instance, like this is the front door of the 7-Eleven. So when we click on the inspector, while this instance of enter-exit is selected, click on node, you see this is the front door if we click on this side door, you see this is not the front door, so it will not trigger the bell. So with that in mind, if we look at our script again, this is the enter-exit script. After the player is entered, we collect the player information, and before we load the next scene, we're going to check if is in the group 7-Eleven front door. Then we want the sound effect to play. What is the sound effects? That is a node we create. Sound effects for this option 1 is going to be just a base node. So it has no global position. And so we'll make a child node of that. That is a type audio stream player. Not audio stream player 2D, but just audio stream player. This will play a sound that is globally stereo, so will not be localized in any one position. Which is useful because when we first trigger this in our enter-exit, we're going to be in one scene, and wherever the player is locally here will not necessarily apply to the next scene. So this is going to be an easier way to do this. So we'll create this function called play door chime that we can call globally. We go into project settings, and we make sure that this is a global script. That way we can call it from anywhere in the game. So when we call this function, we will play this chime. Let's go back to our inspector here. The door chime is something I got from GFX website. I will link that in the description. And so once you have, it is an audio stream wave. So I just dragged this into the inspector. And I left all the values at the default. And so when we walk through, and we'll activate the chime. So it's activated out here, and then it plays while the scene is transitioning. And it'll go both ways. If we walk through the side door, it will not sound the chime because it's not part of that group. And also my other doors outside, it will also not sound those. So that's how that works. That is one option. That is the easier option. And that works perfectly fine. However, it would be kind of nice if our player is like over here in the game. Let's say we want to use this chime again for if we spawn an NPC in here. It would kind of be nice if when the NPC spawns here, if the door chime actually sounded like it was coming from this area rather than just having a global stereo. And this would be particularly true if we were outside, and if the player were, farther and farther away from the convenience store. We wouldn't want it to still sound equally in stereo. So we'll look at a second option of what we can do there. So the second option we can use is we'll still keep our sound effects node, but we're going to change this. This will still be type node, but we're going to add a child that is going to be node 2D, and we'll call this chime position. Chime position does have a transform, and for the method I'll use here, we're going to change the location of this depending on where we want the chime to be. And this, because it's a node 2D, this will give us the option of using audio stream player 2D, and this will be a child of that. And now our sound will be localized. We're still using the same chime sound, so that's all the same. but we're going to pass in an argument called the chime position. Will be a vector 2. And this will allow us to position where the chime will be played from. We will declare onReady the chime position. That is our child here. And we're going to change the position of this chime based on what we pass in. And we will be passing this in the same script from our enter exit, but we'll add we're going to add this variable, door chime position, which is a vector 2. You could make this an export variable and manually enter this in the same way I did for the player next position. But I've decided to set it set it equal to the player next position because when the player walks through the door, it kind of makes sense that if he spawns here, this is going to be the same relative area that the bell should be played from. So I've opted to do an onReady variable, and the vector 2 that will pass into our play chime method will set it equal to the player position. That gives us less work, so that we don't have to manually type things in. So whatever the player position is going to be, both when they walk inside the store, but also when they walk outside the store, they'll be spawned out here. The position should be fairly similar, so we'll set it equal to that. This has to be onReady because you have to load the scene first before the game will know what this position is. If you don't do that, if you just make this with no onReady, or you have nothing, no tag here, this vector 2 will just default at 0, 0. This is going to be our argument that we pass in. So everything else is the same. But when we get down here to checking if it's the front door, when you play the door chime, we want to pass in that variable. Okay, so it should be equal to the player position. So this will get passed in, and then it will set our chime position equal to that vector 2 that we pass in. So it won't sound too different playing it this way, but let's just show you what that sounds like now. So yeah, that sounds pretty good. Just to show you that the sound is localized, we can change some variables here. Let me minimize that. If we play around with the position, and instead of doing player next position, we can do, we'll set it to vector 2. We'll just do some manual coordinates here. We'll set it relative to the player position that they're going to be in the next scene, and let's say add 400, and then y will just be 0. And if we do this, it should be 400 pixels to the right of our player. So when we play it now, we'll hear it out of our right ear more. So you'll hear it more localized over there, both when we walk in and when we walk out, because we've hard-coded this. Likewise, if we make it minus 400, we'll hear it out of the left side. So that means it's working. That works pretty well. So yeah, that's how we can do that. There may be other ways we can do this as well. I'm not sure if for like debugging, it may not be the best setup to set this to player next position, because if we don't remember that, but we have all of this in just the enter-exit script, and it seems like an easy way to do it. Other things that you might consider is, maybe you don't want to trigger it from the previous scene. Maybe you want to have everything happen after the new scene is loaded. In that case, you could use a different point of reference, like maybe a marker 2D, or just the player's spawn position in this new scene. I just thought for me, it was a little more intuitive to have this trigger from the current scene trigger the bell as you walk into the next scene. So for me, I thought this was the easier way to go, but maybe it's not the right approach to continually be moving the chime position. But I think it works, so it's one possibility. And if nothing else, like I said in my last video, even if you decide not to, do this door chime in this particular way, at least this will give you some ideas of how you can persist sound between scenes. It's certainly an option. So if you found this helpful, you can like the video. If you have any questions or didn't understand something, feel free to ask in the comments, and I will answer to the best of my ability. Again, the scripts are going to be in my GitHub repo. You can check those out in the description if there's anything you didn't see clearly in this. And maybe see you in the next video if I decide to do another one. As I said before, I'm still learning the Godot engine, so I'm not exactly an expert. But if I do learn something that I think could be useful, I will go ahead and share it. So anyway, have a good day.